Hi there, I'm Lindsay. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thrilled that you've taken a moment to drop by, because if you've ever found yourself in a position where you felt the need to apologize for not knowing as much as you think you should, or if you've ever found yourself feeling awkward and clumsy on the first day at work, or you found yourself starting a new business and you're comparing your first day to someone's 30th or 365th day, then I think what I have to share with you here today may just be of value in helping you to empower up in those moments where you may be going to the space of feeling less than. So let me share with you a quick little story, because the idea to do this video for you today actually transpired as a result of an experience I had earlier today. My daughter Chloe and I had gone out for a beautiful breakfast, and on the way home we dropped into our local store because my dad's coming over for dinner tonight and I wanted to grab some supplies so I can cook up an incredible storm before he arrives. And as we were going around the store, we had our basket, we filled the basket full of the goodies that we needed, and then made our way through to the checkout. Now, as we got to the checkout, there were two young girls on the checkout that we went to, and I realized that one of the young girls was in training and the other girl was supervising and guiding the girl who it happened to be her very first day. Now, I put my basket up on the counter and she started processing and taking those goods through, and they were going through the register. And as she was doing that, there were a couple of little glitches along the way, and the girl next to her was giving her some guidance, and she looked up at me and she said, "Look, I'm so sorry that I'm so slow today. It's my first day." And so I looked back at her reassuringly and I said, "It's perfectly okay. You're doing just fine. We've all had those first days. You're doing a great job." And I could see that she breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief, yet she still had a little bit of that anxious energy about her, because obviously she was looking to do a great job on that first day. She was looking to impress that person that was next to her, and frankly probably just wanted to get it right. So as she was processing that, the girl next to her was giving her some reassurance and some guidance, and it got me thinking about numerous times in life where I found myself in a position similar to that, both in my younger years, also when I started in my direct sales business and business in general, and also just generally day to day when I've been in an environment of learning, when I haven't really known something and I've been vulnerable and learned alongside somebody else. And so I wanted to share a strategy that I adopted years ago that I know will have served that young girl very well in the moment. And I'm sharing it because I implement it myself in my own life, and I've paid it forward to many through my coaching practice over the years, but also to my team when working with a team who have become, nervous in times of starting a new business. And in paying forward it today, I trust that it may serve you too if you ever find yourself in a position where you're feeling anxious about not knowing everything on the first day of work, or the first day of a business, or the first day of time of doing anything. And as I say, I really want to give you this to empower you up in those moments. So you'll notice in that moment, and in the moments too where you may find yourself in this position, that one of the things we have a tendency to do is to apologize. We say sorry for our perceived shortcoming. And in this instance, this young girl was apologizing for her perceived slowness or lack of speed in being able to process that order. Now, the truth of that moment is that it's actually not this young girl's fault. And if you ever find yourself in that environment where you're looking to apologize for something, just remind yourself and remember that it's not your fault, because in that moment you're simply being triggered, emotionally triggered, and it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction that's been programmed into you. So it's not something that you are necessarily doing from a conscious perspective. And if you were to observe yourself in those moments, I think you'll find you observe what I'm saying to be true. It's more like it's just like an automated response. "Oh, I'm sorry." It's just something that comes out that fills the void in that moment. And it's just some unconscious programming in you that's happening in that moment. It's not something that you're consciously selecting. And so firstly, you can give yourselves a break, because if you do that, welcome to the club of humanity, because we all do this at some level. And so give yourselves a break. That's number one. Number two, I want to give you a strategy that rather than taking you down the path of feeling disempowered, will give you the opportunity to empower up in that moment so that you're thinking from a more conscious space and you're feeling more empowered and a deeper sense of confidence in that moment. So if that's going to be useful for you, I think you'll like this. And as I share this with you, if it's useful for a child, if it's useful for a friend, feel free to share it with them, because the more people we can help to feel empowered in these moments of vulnerability, the more our confidence grows and the better off we are then to inspire and empower others. So we have this knee-jerk reaction, this need or this unconscious program that drives us to say sorry in that moment. And what I encourage you to do is to pause in that moment, take a breath, and instead of saying sorry, turn it around and say thank you. And say something like, thank you for your patience today as I learn the ropes. Or thank you for your understanding as I learn the ropes on my first day. Or thank you for your patience as I work out how to use this till today. Or thank you for your patience as I find out that information you need. And what I found in doing this myself is a couple of really incredible things happen. The first thing that happens is you call upon the higher values of the person you're engaging with. So if they happen to be coming to that space with you a little bit rushed, maybe a little impatient, you're calling upon the highest version of themselves to come forward. You're calling upon their patience to come forward in expressing your gratitude and presupposing that it's there for them in that moment. So you're calling that forward in them in that moment. And what I find happens is they bring to the table what you invite them to bring to the table. And there's a sense of appreciation that they feel in that moment too for you in that space of learning. There's a sense of compassion that they feel for you also in that moment of learning. And rather than coming from a place of feeling less than and needing to apologize, you're coming from a space of empowerment, knowing that this is your first day and you are on your training wheels. You're doing the very best you can in that moment, and you're inviting someone to support you in that moment of learning. Now, I've used this strategy so many times, not just in business, but in life. If I've ever found myself in an environment where I've been learning, say I've been to an event, or events is probably one of the best I can share with you. If you've been in an event, for example, and you know when they do those role plays, you're sitting there with someone who's maybe even a complete stranger, and they say to you, turn to the person next to you. And as a speaker, I know it because I do this too, right? They say, turn to the person next to you. And having sought permission from you first, they invite you to engage in an activity. Now, you might feel a little nervous in that moment. So when you say to your buddy, thanks for giving me the space to share this today, or thanks for your patience as I find my feet with this, or, thanks for being there as I fumble my way forward with this today. And when you say that, it just brings to that exchange a completely different energy, both for the person you're engaging with and for yourself as well. So next time you find yourself in an environment where sorry and apologizing for your lack of skill and expertise because you are in the learning stages, give yourself permission to say thank you for the person that you're engaging with, and perhaps even give yourself permission to thank yourself for having the courage to learn in that moment. So if it doesn't involve somebody else and maybe you're getting frustrated with yourself, maybe the gratitude and the thank you comes inwardly to yourself in that moment as you give yourself permission to learn and empower yourself up as part of that process. So I trust that that's of value for you today. I encourage you to try it out. I see learning as kind of like trying on a jacket to see how it fits for you. And as you go out in your day-to-day life, or as you go out in your business activities, give it a go. Give yourself permission to try something new that will bring about a different feeling in you, a feeling of empowerment and confidence in those moments where you might feel depleted in that. And if it's of value to you, share it with your friends, share it with your family. And if you want to learn more of these sorts of things, I've created a private Facebook group. It's called Evolve with Lindsay. And I believe that we all as humans are on our training wheels doing the best we can every day. And like most of humanity, I make mistakes along the way. In fact, some days I make more than other days. And I encourage you, let's come together, let's learn, grow, and evolve together so that we can become the best version of ourselves we possibly can each day as we go out into the world to make a positive impact for those who are around us and the wider community. So would love to see you in that group. You'll find directly below this video, there's a link there as well. So feel free, come on over and let's continue the conversation over there. So look forward to connecting with you there and again here on YouTube. So until then, have a beautiful day and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.